Hello, my crafty friends. Well, when I was at Hobby Lobby not too long ago, a few days ago, I can't remember exactly when, I found this box in the clearance department, and of course, one of them is missing, but instead of $15, it was $3.74 for 7 bottles of paint, so I got it. Now, yeah, after I got it home, I got to wondering, I wonder if these are old and dried up. I don't know. We're going to find out here in a second. Let's find some scissors here. We're going to find out. But I thought I would play with them, or at least one of them today, if I didn't waste my $4. Sorry, that's noisy. I should have done that before we got on. The only one that I could, reach in there and pull out was this one. And it looks fine. And it's white pearl. But this one is a champagne gold. Well, so far so good. This one is Rich Espresso, which looks good. They're all shaken up pretty easy. This is a rose gold. This one is glorious gold. So there's a lot of gold in this, just in various forms. All of these are kind of, well, this one's maybe similar to a copper. Okay, so we've got these 3 golds and 2 coppers. Well, this is a gold too. So we got 4 golds and a white. This one is splendid gold. I don't know if you can tell the difference in all these. The differences are subtle. But they all look like they're going to work. That's good. And this one is Worn Penny, which is one I definitely like, because it's most definitely a copper. Okay, so those are going to work. That's a good thing. I'm going to work in my Just Play book because that's what I want to do. I just want to play. And I'm going to play on this page right here. Okay, it's very thin, so I'm going to go ahead and put paper behind it. Well, let's do this because I want to hold it down where I don't have to mess with the book. And I wish I had given this a little bit more ability to lay flat spine-wise when I built the book, but I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I'm going to put this one right there because that'll hold that and cover up that paper. This is Yupo paper over here, and I don't want to get paint all over it. I think I need one more of these. I just happen to have one more. Okay. Now my plan is to not go all the way to the edge on this page anyway. And when I made this plan, I said I was going to do that because I didn't want to have to mess with all of this. But I wasn't thinking about how thin this paper is. And so since I put paper over there, I decided just to go ahead and put paper over here. Now I need the paper towel. Good grief. We're almost 5 minutes in and I haven't even put any paint on anything yet. Okay. Now I think I'm ready. And I'm gonna, I wanted this so I could dry out my brush. And I'm going to start by just putting down some greens. And this is Apple Barrel English Ivy Green and Folk Art Forest Moss. And then I'm going to put some of this Laguna from Apple Barrel in with it. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of spread these out. And I really do just want to have fun with it. I don't want to... And I am trying to leave a little bit of a border on the page. So I'm kind of practicing that. This is only the second page I've even done in this book. So before we leave, I'll show you the first one. The first one I did when I did my rusty stuff. And now this paper wrinkles up really, really well. I guess you can see that. So I don't know if it's really good or really bad, but it does a good job of wrinkling. I'm going to put some of this Rich Espresso on here, and we're going to see what that will do, how that'll look with these greens and turquoises. I'll let it kind of blend in a little bit. I don't know, is that too much light? Does that make it better or worse? I can't tell. Right now it feels kind of glary. I'm trying out and adding some more light into where I'm working, and so far I can't decide if I like it or not. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. Well, actually, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to dry it with a heat gun, and I'll be right back. Okay, I took this loose so I could dry it from behind as well as in the front, and so it's a little bit less wrinkled, but it's still pretty wrinkled. But now I'm gonna see if I can flatten it back out with this, and so I can work on it, because what I want to do is add something with black gesso. Actually, I'm hoping to make a black texture paste. Sorry, dropped a ruler. This black gesso is old and it's really, really thick for gesso. It's not thick enough to be texture paste though, because I tried it and it in another project, and it went ahead and leaked a little bit. So I need something to thicken this up with, but I don't want to dilute the color. And that's my conundrum, because a lot of the things that you put in something to make texture paste from it is baking soda, baby powder, marble dust. All of those things are white, and they will really dilute the color, and I don't want to dilute the color. If I had some charcoal, I don't know if you did, but when my kids were little, we had a bottle of charcoal powder that we kept around in case of poisoning, because I was real worried they might get into something they shouldn't and get poisoned. So I had that charcoal powder. I have no idea what happened to it. If I had it now, I would put it in here, and that would probably work really good to turn this into a texture paste. I was looking around in my studio, and the only thing I have that's dark is this cinnamon, and it still will probably change the color some, but I don't think it'll change it to a gray. It'll change it to something, you know, maybe a brown or black or something. I don't know. But this is really cheap cinnamon, and this is old. So I'm gonna take the chance, and we're gonna see what happens. Oh, I need my stirring thing. I have a old paintbrush handle that I use to do things like this. So it'd probably be better though to put this out on something and just do a little bit of it instead of dumping it in the whole thing. So let me find something to do that with, and then I'll use my palette knife instead. 1 second. Okay, I've got this it's a lid to my pomegranate pom-pom things that I buy at Sam's when they're in season. They're not in season very long, so, but it makes a good little palette. Okay. And this might, you know, still work as gesso. It's just very thick. So when I tried to brush it on, the last time I tried to use it as gesso, it didn't want to work as well as I would have liked. It's going to smell good anyway. All right. Well, there we go. It was not wanting to go on. Okay. Let's see if we can mix this in. Make a texture paste. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Let's put it up here. And I'm just mixing that cinnamon in. And so far it doesn't seem to be diluting the color a whole lot. It is making it maybe a little less shiny. But it's definitely textured. Okay, let's got rid of that extra cinnamon so I don't get it everywhere. Okay. Well, this is what it looks like. And it still looks really black, so that's good. Let me find a stencil. I had one. Where? Oh, here they are. I hadn't decided which one I was going to use. I just knew I wanted something botanical. Huh. I really like that one. That's the only one of these I've used before, but I think it's my favorite. Or this one. Let's just use this one just to be different, since we've used the other one in something else. Okay. Let's see if this will work. Kind of hard to pick that stuff up one-handed. Okay. Woo! That looks really pretty. And it's definitely textured. But I definitely need to clean this off. And I didn't bring out anything to, you know, a bucket of water or something to stick it in. So I'm just going to that looks kind of interesting, doesn't it? But it cleaned off a lot of it, so now I'm going to have to try to get off some more. Get a baby wipe here and okay, I'm going to just pause the video for a minute and finish cleaning this up so you don't have to sit here and watch me do it. Okay, that was a lot of work, but I got it cleaned up. But look at my paper towel. Isn't that pretty? And I've still got some of this that is left. So let's use it on something and just see what oh wow. Okay, this is kind of like trying to spread out brownie batter or something. I guess I say that because it smells like cinnamon. So, it does dry fast as far as the, you know, usability goes. You probably don't want to mix up more than you want to use right then. Okay, we're going to just set that aside too. But I've got an extra print here that I think looks really pretty, even though it's not complete. That somehow makes it look more organic, more like it was a real plant. And I've got this one that's extra that I can use too. So that's fun. I would say that was a good experiment. This is not really dry, but it's drying way faster than I expected it to, faster than some texture pastes that I have. Let me see if I can lift it up and see if you can I don't know if you can see the, let's move that away and see if the camera will compensate. Nope, it's less good, not more good. So but I don't think you can actually see the texture in it. I don't know if you can or not. I'm trying. Anyway, I like it. I like the way it looks. It's definitely got a lot of texture to it. And it smells good. So I would say that was a win. in my little book. Let's see. Let's move that. Actually, maybe I should have left that. I'm trying to get to the other page I did when we did our rusty stuff. And this did just, come through a little bit on the back, but not enough to damage the page, which this is what was underneath it. So there did get a little bit of paint on here. Let's just do this and come over here. This is what I did when we did our rusty stuff with the cinnamon. And I still had the cinnamon sitting out here, so that's what made me decide to use it with the black. But it does not take away from the black, which I really like. I guess I ought to try, now that I'm thinking about it, I ought to try some of that black with something like baby powder or baking soda or something like that, like we normally use to make gesso into a texture paste. But and see if it turns it gray. I'm going to pause and mix some up, and then we'll just see what the difference is. Okay, I couldn't find my baby powder, but I've got this kosher salt. I thought that might make an interesting texture, so we're going to play with that. Before I do, I probably need to decide where I'm going to use it. I think I'll just get some I'm sorry. I was trying to hurry. I'm just going to get some of this coffee dyed cardstock, and we'll put some on there, and then I'll show you both of them together to compare them. Okay. All right. Sorry, back to our experiment here. I'm thinking this might be a little more transparent than baking powder would be. Anyway, we'll see. So it might not change the color quite as much. I guess that's what I'm thinking. You need something a little bit stiffer than, or I put too much salt. One or the other. All right, let's add a little bit more of this. Oop. There we go. This is going to be very, very chunky. But it does look more gray to me than the other, but it may not be. I may just be prejudiced. Prejudiced against salt and towards cinnamon. That's kind of silly, isn't it? Okay. We're going to go ahead and use the same. Well, I don't know if this is going to work or not. It's kind of funny. It's more like, it's like putty. But it is like it doesn't stick to the plastic, but sticks to the paper. So I guess that might be a good thing as far as cleanup is concerned. Okay, weird experiment here. It's going to be very thick in some places. Ooh, it came right up. Okay, this may be a complete fail. Let's see. That was a huge amount. Okay. This will at least clean up easy. Well, the salt kind of changes the properties of the paint. So this is actually really intriguing. Let me clean this one off and go get some baking soda, and I'll be right back. Okay, I clearly put too much salt in that last concoction. So we're going to try to do a little less baking soda this time. And we're not going to try to make it so thick. The cinnamon, I didn't have any trouble getting it to stick. The salt, it didn't want to stick near as much. And I decided just to clean off my stencil right here. And the paint stuck, to my cardboard, but the salts just wiped right off. So, maybe somebody knows the science behind why salt's not such a good plan. And you can enlighten me in the comments. Well, I was really afraid of it diluting the color, and it doesn't really seem to be doing that that much. So that's a good thing. I've only ever done this before with white, and so okay. This is definitely not as thick, so it may not be a true test of the difference. Let's add just a little bit more. Because I do want it a little more pasty and not just like thick paint. This one is smoother. It doesn't have the same really grainy, bumpy texture that the other ones had, but it's nice. I think it's going to be nice. It's definitely easier to put down. Look at that, how slick and easy that goes on compared to that, especially compared to that salt. That was a definite probably don't want to try this at home thing. Okay, let's take a look here. That one's really pretty. Got one little place there where I felt it lift up, so I'm not surprised that happened. There's the one with the salt. There's the one with the baking soda, and it still looks very, very black. So, not a bad plan. Let's just go ahead and might as well make me one to use some other time. There's that one. Let's do one more on some more coffee dyed paper. Let me see if I can. Okay. Might as well use it all up. Okay, got some more extras to use somewhere else later. Let's move that out of the way. And now I really do need to try to clean this up. So just put it down here. Let's clean this off first. Okay. Oh, it's kind of fun when you can make pretty stuff just cleaning up. Okay, let's scooch that one over there for a minute. I really like the stencil, so I don't want to leave it goopy. Oops. Okay. Now then, let's take a look and compare. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold them. Okay, this is the book with the cinnamon, and this is the one with the salt, and this is the one with the baking soda. So unless you want it to be really textured, the baking soda I think is the best plan. The cinnamon works well if you want something that looks more sandy, more textured. I say probably don't want to mess with salt. Oh. Anyway, there's our results, and we got, some extras out of it. I still really like that one. That's the one with the cinnamon where I was just trying to clean up the mess. And yeah, the baking soda, definitely the best plan if you want distinct prints and ease of cleanup. But it doesn't give you the texture that the cinnamon gives you. So try different things and see. I'm pleasantly surprised that it stayed pretty black on all of them. The salt probably less than the others just because the grains and the salt were really big. If you used fine grained salt, it probably wouldn't, but it doesn't stick as well as the other things. So, who knows what you can add to it? Might can add anything. If I had some sand, I would have tried that, but I didn't have any. So God bless you and have a great day.